Hello, Watchtower Database. Welcome back to the book club. Oh, James is still on my phone. There it goes. Wait. There he goes. Okay, hey, welcome back to the book club. As you can see, I think we've started figuring out more about streaming. I should be in like a little window, and you have the book is on screen for you this time. So that should be more interesting. You guys can read along, and you'll also be able to see the canonicity spreadsheet, stuff like that. James is still going to be sending me your questions and chats that he sees to be relevant to discuss, because we haven't figured out getting that on screen with the other stuff yet. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're still troubleshooting some things, but we've got it better than it was before. As far as I'm aware, for all I know, this could just be chopping up and lagging, and you guys are having a horrible time. But we'll go with it until James tells me that that's the case. When we last left off, Batman and Hawkgirl were trying to find what was his name, Gorinsky, who was kidnapped by Bane and his men. Hawkgirl can talk to birds, apparently. That's a thing. Didn't know. And it's just, one thing after another. If I remember correctly, they were hanging out in a barn where he might be hiding under the floor. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and jump into Chapter 7. Martian Manhunter would have preferred to see the talks between Kaznia and Luristan continue. However, President Gorinsky's kidnapping had effectively put an end to the negotiations. So instead of standing in a conference room in human guise, Jean was hovering outside the World Assembly building watching General Sikander conduct a heated press conference. As always, Sikander had a pipe in his hand. He poked the air with it, adding emphasis to his assertions. Oh, I don't even remember my voice for this guy. I'll just make one up. Premier Melnikov never wanted these talks to bear fruit, said the general. This is why he had President Gorinsky eliminated. You're certain that Melnikov is to blame for President Gorinsky's kidnapping? Asked a reporter. Of course, said Sikander. Who else had anything to gain from the president's disappearance? Have you any proof? Asked another reporter. Sikander frowned. Your American judicial system may have the time to seek proof. I do not. I must act immediately in my country's best interests. What will you do? Asked a third reporter. Sikander's eyes narrowed. If Premier Melnikov wishes to resort to violence instead of diplomacy, I will respond on the same level. Is that a threat? Asked a fourth reporter. No, said Sikander with grim determination. It is a solemn vow. Jean sighed and activated his comlink. General Sikander seems to be promising retaliation against the Kaznians. This could get ugly, said Green Lantern, who was watching the other side of the World Assembly building. Real ugly. We'll have to be on our guard, said Wonder Woman. Against what? Asked Flash. Against anything, Superman replied, and everything. Jean felt worse for the Man of Steel than for anyone else. He had such high hopes for these meetings, such lofty expectations. And now it seemed those expectations would never be realized. For the last few hours, as night gradually gave way to day, Batman had stood by the Red Barn where they had found Bane's helicopter and watched Hawkgirl. But as far as he could tell, his partner hadn't actually done anything. She had simply walked back and forth along the fringe of woods, turning her head every so often as if she was listening for something. But all Batman could hear was the occasional bird song, so he could draw only one even remotely reasonable conclusion, that the bird song was what Hawkgirl was listening for. Finally, his teammate turned to him and pointed west. They went that way, she said. Batman figured he would ask, even though he didn't expect a straight answer. How do you know? Trust me, said Hawkgirl. I know. She gazed westward. Unfortunately, I don't know where they went after that. She glanced at the Dark Knight. Have any ideas? He thought about it for a moment. Yes, he said, eager to make some contribution to their partnership. As a matter of fact, I do. John Stewart, also known as Green Lantern, had seen his share of anxious political situations on other worlds, but he hadn't seen any more volatile than this one. So he wasn't too shocked when he saw a black car pull up in front of the Kasnian embassy in the middle of the night and spit out half a dozen men with automatic weapons. John didn't doubt that they were Luristanians. After all, General Sikander had spelled out his intention to strike back at his enemies. The only question had been when and where. Now it seemed those questions had been answered. The Green Lantern swooped down out of the sky and interposed himself between the gunmen and the embassy. Then he said, "What do you think you're doing?" The gunman didn't answer him. At least, not with words. Instead, they opened fire and let their weapons do their talking. Jean frowned. Without the ring, he would have been a dead man. Fortunately, its emerald power was a lot stronger than any projectile. With a sudden wide-angle burst of energy, he vaporized his opponent's bullets. Then he used his ring to spear the weapons out of the gunmen's hands. Of course, they could still have recovered them if the Green Lantern had given them half a chance. Knowing that, he blasted the guns to bits, one at a time. He was beginning to feel that he had the situation in hand when one of the gunmen pulled a hand grenade out of his pocket. John couldn't act quickly enough to keep the man from pulling the pin on the explosive device or throwing it at the embassy. But he was quick enough to throw a green energy bubble around it. When it exploded, the bubble contained the devastating impact. The Green Lantern scowled and turned to the man responsible for it. "Now that," he said, "was way out of line." To make sure it didn't happen a second time, John dropped a green energy dome over the gunmen. They wouldn't be tossing any more grenades if they were going to be standing where the things went off. Or if they were going to be standing there when the things went off. By then, the Metropolis police had begun arriving on the scene. The Green Lantern had a lot of respect for police officers. After all, he was a lot like one himself. All at once, John made the green dome vanish. Then he herded the gunmen in the direction of a paddy wagon with a few low-impact jabs of green energy. Only when he was sure the police had the situation well in hand did he contact his teammates. "This is John," he said over his comlink. "Don't look now, but I think this pot we've been watching is about to boil over." Okay, so that's the end of Chapter 7. As per usual, what we do after we finish chapters is we pop over to, I have a canonicity and timing spreadsheet. For those of you who have been here before, you know all about it. For those of you who are new here, well, you're gonna see it once the page decides it wants to load. But yeah, for the guys who have been here, you now actually get to see it in person. So the first column that we do is for appearances, people that showed up in the chapter. Usually it's only new appearances. I feel like, we already had Sikander, we've had Batman, we've had Hawkgirl, we've had Superman, we've had Wonder Woman, we've had Green Lantern. So no new appearances. Then we go over to stuff that might make it not canon. Nothing really stuck out that time around. Then we have mentions of in-show events. We've had mentions of like Secret Origins earlier, but nothing this chapter. Mentions of time. I don't think we got any. Oh, that looks ugly. Let me hold on. Let me do format and text wrapping and wrap. Okay, that looks better. There weren't really any mentions of time. Then the next thing over is stuff that has like a concrete like start date, like Bane and the Justice League earlier in chapter 1, because Bane was introduced in the episode Bane. It was his origin as far as the DCAU goes, Justice League was introduced in, Secret Origins. Then we have pop culture references, weather references, any other clues. Nothing along those lines seems to be popping in for this chapter. So I'm just going to look at what James is sending me from the chat. ATM Fall Off Boy says he likes the new setup. Thanks, ATM. I hope your ATM falls back on eventually. Din says, I'm going to eat my dinner while I watch. I like the new setup. I'm glad that you guys are liking the new setup. I can't see it on my screen because, like I said, we're still troubleshooting. I think I figured out how to get it so I can, watch it all through the main program so I can see myself and everything else. But we've kind of figured that out like 2 seconds before stream starts, so we decided not to do it just in case. Sean Hawk, whoa, why your flash sound like that? So for my flash, I try to do a little bit of Sonic the Hedgehog with him, just because speedsters and stuff. But like, this game of tag is boring. I'm out of here. Out of like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I give my Flash that voice, and then my Robin has a similar voice, but like toned down just a tiny bit. Gasuka says voice acting is top notch. Well, thank you, Gasuka. Spreadsheet is partially covered by me, so scroll to where the stuff you're actually editing is at the top of the screen. Well, thanks for letting me know that now, James. I'll have it scrolled down there. That way, whenever we put in anything from Chapter 8, it'll be good to go. But I'm going to go ahead and I will go ahead and start Chapter 8. Let me get that back full screen for you guys. Chapter 8. Batman sat in the pilot seat of his Batwing and used its onboard computer to call up a street map of Fingers Crossing. It didn't take long. The next part, hacking into the data network of the Metropolis Police, promised to be a little more difficult. "What are you doing?" asked Hawk Girl, who was standing beside the open cockpit.
"If Bane went in the direction you indicated," Batman told her, "he took a road called Kubert Drive, which doesn't intersect with any other roads for about a mile. Then it crosses a major highway."
He pointed to the intersection in question as it was represented on his computer screen. The light there
tends to be a long one,"
Batman noted.
"So impatient motorists will often shoot through the intersection as the light is turning red."
Hawk Girl looked at him. "And?"
"To discourage this," he went on, "the police installed a surveillance device that's activated when a car goes through the intersection illegally. The device takes a picture, electronically relays it to headquarters, and the motorist is issued a ticket in the mail."
ATM Fall Off Boy says Farmer Brown is OP. Yes, I'm hoping to get him into a vanishing point soon. Crazy Duplicate says, where is It's Shelby, not Shelly. Shelby the Smooth Collie. I'm going to guess he's in a book that Michael Teitelbaum wrote instead of Michael Jan Friedman. I'm going to close this so I don't get distracted. Where was I? Hot Girl looked at him. And? Oh, wait. No. Did I? I don't know.
"To discourage this," he went on, "the police installed a surveillance device that's activated when a car goes through the intersection illegally. The device takes a picture, electronically relays it to headquarters, and the motorist is issued a ticket in the mail."
His partner considered the information for a moment. "So, if the vehicle with Bane and Gorinsky in it went through that intersection, and the light happened to be red at the time, there would be a picture of the vehicle."
"That's correct,"
Batman told her as he tapped additional instructions into his computer.
"Which is why I'm hacking into the police department's data net. If Bane went through there, there may be a picture of it."
"But," said Hot Girl, "any number of vehicles could have gone through that red light. How would you know which one was Bane's?"
"The police pictures are time-coded. I'm estimating that Bane would have passed through the intersection at approximately 5:47.
This is all like so Deus Ex Machina, it's ridiculous. "And if he stopped for coffee?" Batman knew the winged woman was kidding. Still, he had already taken that possibility into account, along with a couple of dozen others. There we go.
There aren't any restaurants, coffee shops, or food trucks between here and the intersection, he replied, so that needn't be a concern.
Hawkgirl fell silent as Batman worked some more on his keyboard. A few moments later, he had pierced the datanet's firewall. Now it was just a matter of finding the surveillance pictures. "Hey, wait a minute," said Hawkgirl.
What is it?
Batman asked. "I thought you operated out of Gotham City. How did you know about a surveillance device at a suburban intersection outside Metropolis?" "How indeed," Batman reflected.
I have a friend at the company that developed the technology.
It was true, more or less. The surveillance system was... It was true, more or less. The surveillance system had been developed by Wayne Tech, and Bruce Wayne was Wayne Tech's chief executive officer. "Looks like we're getting somewhere," Hawkgirl observed. She was right. The plane's computer monitor was displaying the surveillance system's menu. First, Batman identified the location he was interested in. After all, there were other intersections in the great metropolis area that had been equipped with the same system. Then he punched in 1245 and saw that only one vehicle had passed through the intersection within 2 minutes of the time he had specified. A second later, a picture sprang to life on his monitor. It showed a black van that was 3 or 4 years old and had seen its share of fender benders. But what he was really after were the numbers on the license plate. With a few taps on his keyboard, he zeroed in on the plate and magnified it. It was from Delaware. The code was UDH-395. "Bingo!" said Hawkgirl. But Batman wasn't done. Having gotten what he needed from the local police, he hacked into the Delaware Motor Vehicle database. It was a good deal easier than getting into the police net, and it told him who owned the van.
Big City Warehouse and Distribution,
He read out loud.
Located at 450 Park Ridge Road.
The detective didn't have to consult a computer map to know it wasn't far away. 5 or 6 miles, maybe. He informed his partner of the fact.
I'll need a lift again,
Batman advised her. "It would be my pleasure," Hawkgirl assured him. The fastest man alive had been circling the Luristanian embassy for almost 3 hours when he saw his first hint of trouble. Running into the lobby of the embassy, Flash alerted the guard on duty there to lock the building's doors and keep everyone away from the windows. Then he went outside, leaned against a street sign, and waited for the troublemakers to get out of their car. They were dressed in black and carried automatic weapons, a lot like the gunman Green Lantern had corralled earlier. Flash had to wonder, did these guys all go to the same tailor, or did it just seem that way? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't move the page. The gunmen cried out in surprise when they saw the Scarlet Speedster standing there. Then they raised their weapons and took aim. It all happened in slightly less than a second, but to the Flash, it seemed like an eternity.
"Okay," he said. "Let me get this straight. The Luristanians attacked your embassy, so you've decided to return the favor?"
His question was met with a burst of machine gun fire. Of course, by the time the bullets reached the spot where he had been standing, he wasn't there anymore. He was behind his assailants. That was one of the benefits of super speed, the Flash reflected. I read that weird. That was one of the benefits of super speed, the Flash reflected. There wasn't anything fast enough to hurt you as long as you were ready for it.
"I'm going to take that as a yes,"
he said. The gunmen whirled, their eyes wide with amazement.
"I know,"
the speedster said modestly.
"I have that effect on people. But getting back to our conversation."
Not surprisingly, the gunmen fired at him a second time. The Flash dodged this burst as easily as he had dodged the first one.
"You know," he told them, "you guys are not making a good first impression on me."
They roared curses at him in their language and fired again. And again, he managed to be somewhere else by the time the bullets arrived.
"Okay," said the Flash. "I've tried to be a good host, but enough is enough."
This time he didn't wait for his adversaries to fire at him. He zipped from one gunman to the next. plucking their weapons from their hands faster than the eye could follow. Then he deposited their guns in a police station 8 blocks away. "Keep the change," he told the sergeant sitting at the desk near the front door. The guy did a double take. "What? Where did you come from?" he said in a startled tone of voice. "A place called Blue Valley. Nice there. You'd like it," the Flash told him. Before the sergeant could respond, the Scarlet Speedster had returned to the embassy. The gunmen were still standing in the street, trying to figure out what had happened to their weapons. "So, where were we?" asked the Flash. The gunmen just stood there for a moment, uncertain whether to attack their opponent with their fists or to try to get away. In the end, they chose escape, for all the good it did them. Moving too fast for the eye to see, Flash overtook each assailant and knocked him out with a well-placed haymaker. Then he collected them in one spot and made a pile for the police to cart off. "Nice talking to you," he said. "We'll have to do this again sometime." Big City Warehousing and Distribution was about 50 miles southwest of Metropolis in what was not a big city at all, but a run-down little industrial park. There were several cars parked in Big City's lot, but none of them was the black van Batman and his partner were looking for. If it was here, it was inside the company's dingy gray box of a building.
"There's a window,"
Batman pointed out as he and Hawkgirl approached the place. "How helpful of them," she said, and hovered in front of it to give them a look inside. What Batman saw didn't look like a legitimate warehousing and distribution operation. It looked like a chop shop, a place where stolen cars are dismantled and sold as parts.
"If Gorinsky is in there," he said, "he must be."
"He's not," Hawkgirl said. She didn't sound the least bit uncertain about it.
"How do you know?"
Batman asked.
"And don't give me the little bird routine. There's no way a bird would know something like that."
"True," his partner conceded, "but Gorinsky's still not in there. Not when a mechanic could figure out who he is and tell the wrong person, who tells the wrong person."
"And before you know it, it gets back to the police,"
Batman finished. Hawkgirl was right. He would have come to that conclusion on his own if his brain hadn't been numb from lack of sleep. "On the other hand," said his partner, "the guy in charge of this operation might know something about where his van went."
"And Gorinsky along with it,"
Batman noted.
"At any rate, it can't hurt to ask."
"My sentiments exactly," said Hawkgirl. She lowered Batman to the ground. Then she took out her energy mace and took a vicious swing at the wall below the window, smashing a hole in the building big enough to drive a car through. The mechanics within didn't appear to have any weapons, a confirmation that Bane hadn't left Gorinsky there. They ran at the sight of the Justice Leaguers, fighting each other to be the first one out the door. Only one man didn't break for the exit. A small, heavy-set fellow with slicked back hair. He ran up a flight of stairs in the back of the building, heading for what looked to Batman like a second-floor office. The detective went after him, but he might as well not have bothered. Hawkgirl, propelled by her great gray wings, shot across the room and took the man down before he could reach the door. By the time Batman bounded up the stairs, his partner had pinned the crook against the wall. "All right," she said. "Where's President Gorinsky?" "I don't know what you're talking about," said the man, his eyes darting frantically from Hawkgirl to Batman and back again. "You're lying," Hawkgirl told him. "Please," said the guy. "I have a weak heart." "Then you'll want to listen carefully," said the winged woman in a voice that promised all sorts of pain. "I could take you up about a mile into the air and drop you a few times, or I could call a flock of birds with the sharpest beaks you ever saw in your life. Or we could skip all that and go straight to the part where you tell me what you know. Your choice." The crook hesitated, beads of sweat standing out on his forehead. Only when Hawkgirl grabbed his arms as if to carry out her threat did he say, "All right, I'll talk!"
"Where's Gorinsky?"
Batman asked, echoing his teammate's question. The man wiped the sweat from his brow. He's not here! Was he ever here? Hot Girl pressed. The Crook shook his head. Just the other guy! Batman peered at him through the eye slits in his mask.
Other guy?
The man turned red as if he had said too much. Yeah! The other foreign guy!
Melnikov?
The detective suggested. The Crook shrugged. I think so. Batman frowned. If Melnikov had been there, it was a further indication of the Kaznians' involvement in the kidnapping. What was he doing here? Hawkgirl asked. The man jerked a thumb in the direction of the office. Talking to the boss!
The boss being Bane?
Batman inquired. The Crook nodded again, but he didn't say the name. It was as if he didn't dare. Did they talk about the kidnapping? Hawkgirl asked. The man bit his lip. Yeah.
And what did they say?
Bane asked. Batman asked. The Crook winced. Bane will kill me if he finds out I ratted. Then he doesn't have to find out, Hawkgirl offered. Spill now, before I lose my temper. Okay, the man said. He took a deep breath. They were gonna hide Gorinsky at Susser Field in the visitors' locker room. Batman was familiar with Susser Field. It had been the home of the Metropolis Meteors, the town's National League baseball team, until the latter half of the 1980s.
I know where that is,
the detective said. Hawkgirl nodded. Good. Then let's get out of here. What about me? Asked the Crook. You're not going to tell Bane what I said, right? Not Bane, said the winged woman. But we might just tell the police. They love busting chop shops. At least, that was what Batman thought she had said. Suddenly, his mind had begun racing ahead of him, and he was doing his best to catch up. Abruptly, he realized that Hawkgirl was looking at him. Coming? She said. Without warning, Batman reached for the Crook's sport jacket and got a fistful of it. Then he pulled the man close to him.
Don't you tell Bane either, he said.
What do you think? Said the Crook. That I'm nuts? As far as I'm concerned, you guys never caught up to me. Batman held the man a moment or two longer. Then he thrust him away.
Make sure you don't change your mind,
he rasped. Then he followed Hawkgirl out of the place and let her carry him in the direction of Susser Field. Okay, so that finishes chapter 9. Back to the spreadsheet really quickly. That finishes chapter 8. Sorry, I was looking at the chapter 9. So we did have let's see. So we had, appearances. There wasn't really anyone new. We had Gorinsky. We had, who else was it? Gorinsky. Oh my god, is there another person that I completely forgot? Hold on. So Gorinsky was mentioned, and then the guy said the other. Melnikov. Oh no, Melnikov's okay. Melnikov was in chapter 1. Yeah, tight. Okay. So we're good on appearances. I mean, like there's unknown, unnamed people like the chop shop owner, stuff like that. I'm not too worried about that right now. For stuff that makes it not canon, I don't think anything really showed up. For in-show events, I don't think anything showed up there either. As far as time, it seems as though Bane's. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized I might be covering things up. At least that was what James was saying earlier. Okay, there we go. Oh, I put that in. Okay, so yeah. So Bane's car is 3 to 4 years old, and then as well as what did we get? We got that thing about the 1980s. Jeez, where did that go? Okay, yeah. Susserfield was the home of the Metropolis Meteors up until the 1980s. As far as like concrete, there's nothing new to do. There's Flash did make a joke that I'm really curious about. That Blue Valley joke. I don't know if that's a pop culture reference, because I don't think that's where he was. Because they were all in Metropolis together at the World Assembly. Let's see. Blue Valley is a fictional city in the DC Comics universe. It was created by John Broome and Carmine Infantino as the hometown of the original Kid Flash. Interesting. The original Kid Flash being Wally, right? I'm not like goofing up my Flash lore, am I? I probably am. The original Kid Flash. The first yeah, Wally. Okay, tight. So that was just a joke on that. I guess I don't really need to put that anywhere then. As far as weather, nothing was mentioned. Other clues, wasn't much of anything mentioned. So let me turn it over to what do you guys got going on? Oh, James sent me a lot of things. Let's see. Den Toons comic. Kubert Drive like Joe Kubert? Let's look. Because with fingers crossing, I assume that that was a joke on Bill Finger. Yeah, so Joe Kubert being what is it? The wrote Sergeant Rock I'm seeing here. So yeah, that was probably a reference to him. Is the next video on Seal Boy. If you're talking about the next Vanishing Point, I haven't written it yet, but I'm just about done researching for it. It's going to be very Ra's al Ghul heavy, but I don't want to spoil too much. Bob the Random Guy. The next VP is going to be about the make and model of Bane's car. Ha! No, I don't think I'll ever do that. So Bane waits at red lights and Batman runs him. I'd say we know who the real criminal is. Batman is obviously. Send me. Oh, hold on. James wanted me to send him a link to the book. James, I can't send you the link because only one person can. Only one person can. Only one person can rent the book at a time. Den Toons comic. Cursing not canon. There's tons of cursing in the DCAU. It's usually just cut off up until you get to Batman and Harley Quinn. Crazy duplicate. Now that guy is going to figure out who the Flash is with that information. Yeah, probably. The small heavyset fellow with the slick back hair is the Flash, obviously. If Batman's tired, that means he hasn't slept in weeks. So I know they opened up the book saying that it had been a while since Batman had slept. I wonder, did I have that marked how long it's been? Yeah, so Batman had been battling organized crime war for the past week or so, leading to Maxie Zeus's arrest within the last 24 hours. And I think it was saying that he hadn't slept for at least 24 hours, probably even longer. How's the rebirth? Oh, wait, hold on. Sean Hawk, would Batman be opposed to using meth in times when he can't sleep? I don't see Bruce Wayne using drugs, although I do see him experimenting with them to build up immunity to them, perhaps. Here, let me just pop back over to this so you're looking at something relevant rather than looking at Joe Kubert. How's the rebirth timeline going? I don't want to like. So I'm pretty sure that I have ADHD, but like I haven't gone and gotten that gotten it actually like checked out, taken care of, or anything. So I started that when I was on a binge of I want to be productive and do something, and it's very much fallen to the wayside since then. I should probably hop back on that, but we are working on so many things right now with Watchtower Database, so I don't really have much time to give to that. But I'll try to get back to it momentarily. Blue Valley was Wally's original. Yeah, Den, I figured that out, and James sent me that too. Den says Joe Kubert did Hawkman during the Silver Age. Well, then yeah, that's probably a reference to that. Oh wow, we still have like 20 minutes to go, because usually these streams go till 5, and I've already exhausted my 2 chapters for the day. I don't know what to do. We could look more into Joe Kubert, but if you guys want to like send questions and stuff, that's cool too. We can just chit chat. Let's see, Joe Kubert. Where's his bibliography? Oh wow, he wrote a lot of things. Heroes Against Hunger. I don't see this Adam and Hawkman. Hawkman backup story. Tomahawk. Okay, so he wrote some Hawk stuff. I can see it. Word. Well, that's a thing to know. Oh, James says he's photoshopping Bane's outfit from this book, so he wants me to describe it to him. Let's see. So I know that Bane's 6'6", and he had a watch with at least 3 buttons. But where was the mention of the rest of his outfit? Oh, is that? I'm guessing that's why James is in the. That's James right up there. This thing. That's James. Hiding in the. I know he wore a turtleneck. Oh man, James, you put me on the spot. James. Well, hey, what are you guys doing? While I'm looking for this, just chit-chat amongst yourselves. Chit-chat with me. Drop some questions. Where is Bane? That's Maxie Zeus. Bane rushed the detective. Bane had an automatic pistol in his shoulder holster. So if you want to, there's that. That's an info for you, James. Oh, there it is. Let's see. So his immense arms and powerful chest were barely contained by a tight black turtleneck. The newcomer wore a mask, except the mask covered his entire face. And he could identify the man by the black and white death's head pattern that covered his mouth and chin, and the infrared lenses that allowed him to see in the dark. Okay. Bane was only wearing a watch. Yes, absolutely. Okay, James, I'm just gonna type this into the spreadsheet. That way you can come back to it. His immense arms. This is how we work at Watchtower Database. We just do a live stream, and then James says, "No, help me work." His immense arms and powerful chest were barely contained by a tight black turtleneck. Let's see. The mask covered his entire face. Black and white. Oh, that's not how you spell white. There's no zero in there. Black and white. Death's head. Pattern that covered his mouth and chin. And then infrared lenses that allowed him to see in the dark. Had an automatic pistol in his shoulder holder. And oh yeah, of course, 6'6" if he was an inch. And what was it? Chapter 4 had Bane having a watch. I don't know. Is this entertaining to you guys? Do you enjoy James making me look for small details about Bane's appearance? Yeah, so he heard a soft beeping from his wristwatch. Touching a button on it, he acknowledged his receipt of the signal. Touching another button on his watch, the mercenary alerted the accomplices across the river that Gorinsky was on the move. Then he picked up his mask and stood in front of his room's mirrored closet. With great satisfaction, he pulled the mask over his face. That simple gesture erased all signs of the man he had once been. Then he left his penthouse room and ascended a single flight of stairs to a heavy metal door. The door was bolted. Where did I get the third button from? There must have been a third button somewhere a little bit later on. Touching a third button on his watch, he sent out a signal. Yeah, so Bane has a wristwatch. This all definitely is weather notes. I'm gonna push this over here for you, James. And I'll do that, and then I will wrap the text. Sean Hawk, I'm really interested in the concept of whether or not Batman would use drugs or not. Robin walks in and just screams, "My mentor is a junkie?" That's Bob the Random Guy, and that's really why Dick left. Honestly, let me see. There we go. Okay, James, there you go. I'm curious about it too now, Sean, and since we don't have much else to do, let's Google it. Does Batman use drugs? My girlfriend's wondering why I'm Googling this. Bruce Wayne on drugs. One of the best Batman stories ever. Is it though? Kotaku? Oh, yep, there he is. He's bat steroids. How do you get a job writing for these websites? Because like I could use that paycheck. Kotaku, if you're in the chat, hit me up. I'll quit my food truck job. Batman Venom shows off everything that makes Denny and blah 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 blah. Not rugs. We need the drugs. I don't know why my computer's going so slow, you guys. Check that out. Watch a 6-wheeled Ford Super Duty fail at climbing a slight incline. That's what we're here for. What if Batman got addicted to drugs? But legendary Batman writer Denny O'Neil took a laughable premise and turned it into one of the best character portraits of the Caped Crusaders ever seen. Batman Venom. Okay, so I assume that this must have been like a post-Bane. It must have been a post-Bane story, and he gets hopped up on Venom. Interesting. Well, now we know. Now we know, you guys. I'm looking at my phone because I just want to pull up the YouTube chat myself. Oh, but my volume's up. That'll get annoying. I'll tell you that. Not the live chat. Content right here. Absolutely, ATM fall off. Boy, this isn't quality content. It's just content. This is some content right here. Batman could kill half of the universe without the Infinity Gauntlet. Batman wouldn't kill half of the universe though. That's what I'm finding out while researching Raish. I'll just pop the book back on the screen. He is a scientist, right? And throughout history, haven't doctors and scientists often used drugs to stigmatize now to things like surgery and other? Yeah, I mean, I could see it. Mattie's FBI agent is probably wondering what the hell is going on. Oh, I probably do have an FBI agent. I talk a lot on the internet. There's no way that there's nobody watching me. Zachary Morales has drugs. Well, now my FBI agent knows that, Zachary. I have a theory, a DCAU theory. Thanks for watching. Well, tell me what your theory is, butt-face Maggie. Are you high?
No, for once, no.
Okay. Because, yeah, that was funny, but I think it was funnier after you laughed. Butt-face Maggie, what's your theory? Someone get a clip of Mattie saying, "Not rugs, we want the drugs," and meme it. That could win you the for those of you that are here, you probably already know, but we're having a meme contest right now. Make Watchtower Database memes or DCAU memes. Send them to info@watchtowerdatabase.com. Or you could also send them to us over like social media, but I think James wants them all to be like private. That way we can like do a video being like, here are the memes. But yeah, make a meme, send it to info@watchtowerdatabase.com or to DM it to us on social media. That way it stays private, I guess. James will be checking the DMs. And, just send it to us. You could win a copy of Justice League vs. the Fatal 5 on digital. I know a lot of you have already said, oh, I've got DC Universe already, or, oh, I can just pirate it, or whatever. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure that the digital copy has the bonus features included, so you're missing part of the experience. So you might as well try it out, meme us, and get back to us. Oh god, it's Deadpool Pikachu. What? Oh, Zachary Morales, yes. Den2's comic. That will win the JL vs. Fatal 5 contest. See, Den was on top of it before I was. My nose is starting to itch. It's, does Damian Wayne exist in the DCAU? I don't think so. If you rewatch Out of the Past, you'll see that Raish is talking about, like, him showing back up in Bruce Wayne's body as like the long lost son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul to take over Wayne Enterprises. And it's like, why would you need to do that if Damian exists? Batman would apparently use the Infinity Gauntlet to get him some drugs. Absolutely. That's how Endgame should have gone. Batman has no regrets of kissing Ra's al Ghul when he was Talia. Dude, let's be honest, man. Talia's kind of a hottie, and like, sure, Ra's is inside her body, but like that's still the same body that Batman's seen before, you know. Now it's just Ra's brain seeing Batman's ding dong, and like we've all seen it now that Batman Damned came out. So you know, whatever. It's not like he's real private about it. Oh, there's Blue Valley again. Why did I click back over there? Hey, y'all want to see something cool? How long will it take till this mirrors in on itself? Oh, I think my, there it goes. I think my computer's freezing. I want it to mirror in on itself. That's still the same body that Batman's seen before, you know? Now it's just Ra's brain seeing Batman's ding dong, and like we've all seen it now that Batman Damned came out. So, you know, whatever. It's not like he's real private about it. I still need a good idea for that meme contest. Even though I own the movie, I still want to participate for fun. Why did I click back over there? I mean, come up with an idea, want to see something cool? All I did, like, I didn't enter the contest, but I made a meme yesterday. If you guys saw that, now I kind of want to actually pull that up instead of mirrors in on itself. Instead of doing this thing, because I thought this would be funny. There it goes. That's probably like ruining the stream, honestly. I want it to mirror in on the same body. But yeah, like, hold on. Where's... my computer's going slow, probably because we're streaming now that I'm thinking about it. Does Hawk Girl enjoy bingo? I don't know. Didn't they say in Justice League vs. Fatal 5 that they've got bingo nights at the Watchtower these days? Talia is quite a babe. Absolutely. Oh, I gotta log in. Hold on. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't want y'all to see, forget. Now you guys know how long my password is. Oh, no. This is a lot to show you guys a meme. No, I just want the media. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been given the reins to post on the Watchtower database social media, at least the Twitter and the Instagram. So a lot of the posts that have been going up there lately are from me, at least as far as like image posts, and then like posting like old ads and stuff. But yeah. Oh hey, there's us advertising today's stream. Where is it? I wish this was easier to go through. Yeah, I post so much of this. I just want to show you guys my meme. It would be so much easier if the meme was on my computer rather than my phone. Watch it not even be worth the... Oh yeah, I did that. Mods are asleep post data. Was it really this far ago? There's no way that it was this far ago. No. Did I go over it? Hold on. Let me just go to the Instagram. That'd be much easier. I'm sorry. I'm making you guys sit through so much for a meme that's not gonna be worth it. Which is your favorite DCAU show? Obviously, the Zeta Project. But realistically, probably Batman Beyond or Justice League Unlimited. Is the Jay's Reviews drama over? I can't tell you. We're going through some stuff, man. No, we need pictures of Spider-Man. Inception. No amount of hotness can normalize sleeping with your father-in-law. I don't know, man. Some people got some real hot father-in-laws. The Zeta Project. Well, Wildcat probably runs bingo now. I could see it. Mattie's moving up in the world. Yay. Only old people played bingo. So you mean the cheese wasn't James? So disappointed. Yeah, I did the cheese one. That was me. Here it is. This is the meme I made, you guys. This is it. I was researching for Vanishing Point, and I came across this, and I said, this would be funny. I'm going to make a meme. So I did. I screenshotted the panel. I put it in Snapchat. I whited out the panel under it as well as I could. But like as you can see, this bottom left corner here, my phone wouldn't let me access that. And then I whited out the words the best that I could and put the he's wearing AirPods. Got a PNG of the AirPod and stuck it on there. And it's funny. Because you got Batman's over here listening to music, about to get shot, and Deadman's like, no, I gotta save him. It was worth your time, wasn't it? Have I watched Crypto the Superdog? Absolutely not. That's... No. No. I don't... Huh? I'll watch it eventually if it gets put on DC Universe. I need to renew my subscription. I think my 1 year is about to run out. Batman going Super Saiyan 100. Then he says Kaioken 700. Then Mr. Pee Pee Poo Poo gets ultimate power. Yeah. Was that a bird joke? We all happy and no more adults overthinking cartoons. Your meme, Zeta. Is it the AirPods meme? It is the AirPods meme. We're here now. Batman secretly loves Superman and wants to feel that Man of Steel power with... Y'all are going somewhere, but I mean, I could see it. Some people got some real hot father. Yes, that is the thing I said. Mattie Washburn 2019. That's how Barbara and Bruce got together. Oh no, Batman, watch out. What if we lived in a world where adults don't overthink kitsch? If we lived in that world, I'd probably have more productive stuff going on, but I don't. So... You know, it is what it is. Did my camera freeze on the stream? What's Batman listening to? Probably some Ozzy Osbourne. Let's be honest. So okay, so that's not a random thug. That's the guy that killed Boston Brand in the DCAU. And he was actually trying out to become part of the League of Assassins or Society of Shadows or Society of Assassins. There's so many different assassin teams in the DCAU, and I don't remember which is which, and they changed a lot. What's Batman listening to? Wait, I answered that already. Got it. Who is my favorite character? My favorite character is probably the friends we made along the way. But yeah. But it's 5 o'clock. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pop the stream off. You know, because James got to go pick up his lovely wifey. So I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys. It's been real fun. I'm glad that we've been able to start troubleshooting this a bit better. And maybe next week things will be even better than they were this week. But yeah, there you go. Watch that happen. That's some spooky stuff.